Hello, welcome to Billy Lowe's Backroom Workshop. We're going to talk about this cylinder leak down tester by U.S. General. Got it from Harbor Freight, and I had problems with it. It wasn't consistent in the cylinder testing. I was getting different averages, and because of that, I decided to look into the tester and determine what's going on. Now, if you notice, I've removed this gauge. This gauge only operates on about 18 pounds, and so you set your regulator with that gauge put in there. This gauge originally was where this one is, and you set your regulator. It has to be sensitive at an extremely low pressure. Well, this regulator really doesn't seem to be designed to work well with that low pressure. It's unable to hold a good pressure reading. Maybe it fluctuate a couple of pounds, and a couple of pounds on this gauge is a big percentage. Just as you can see, it shows the poundage of 40 pounds is still marginally okay, 35 pounds marginally okay. In a real engine, on a real tester, you don't want to be under 20 pounds. It indicates there's a problem. So all I did was I went out, removed the two gauges. This goes to 100 pounds. And I got myself a little plug. I had one laying around the shop, but they're not. You can get this plug pretty cheap. And I put the 100-pound gauge here, and I use it as a tester. I pull this down. I'll adjust it till the gauge flex to 100 pounds. Snap it back in. Plug this end into the cylinder, and my drop each pound is a percent. And that's the way a lot of other leak down testers work. Worked fine for me. I ended up with an engine, 350 engine. Instead of showing 40 to 50 pounds leakage, I was getting 12, 10, 9, and that was a dry engine. This engine hadn't been run, so the engine is in good shape. But if I went by my original readings, it showed that the cylinders were all bad. By the way, that engine, all the leak down on the engine was bypassing the rings, and it's got 80,000 miles on it, but the bypass was very minimal. So that engine is going to be put into a truck for service, and hopefully it'll work well, and I'm sure it will. Anyhow, if you happen to have one of these gauges, you may not be getting the most accurate readings. I did this. It's up to you what you want to do, but for the price of the gauge and this minor modification, I've seen leak down gauges go for a lot more. Okay. This is the engine we did the leak down test on, and just one word of caution: you are putting 100 pounds into a cylinder when you do the method I just showed, and with 100 pounds, that cylinder is probably going to want to move. Could be very dangerous if you were in the way of something rotating. Make sure the engine is well locked up so it doesn't turn before you add your air pressure. If you have a manual car, put it in gear and put on the brake, the park brake, and that should hold it. So also, that plug, it's a 1/8 pipe. So if you want to go out and get one, just a 1/8 pipe plug. Any plumbing supply house has tons of them.